Hi everyone, it's me, Linda B, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I kindly ask that you watch the video all the way to the end. All right, so today we are going to talk about some explosive text message testimony. Oh, text messages. Sex, lies, and text messages. As you all know about embattled district attorney in Fulton County, Fani Willis, now you knew in a previous video I did that they were going to review the text messages and so that they could determine the timeline of when Fani Willis and Nathan Wade's relationship began. That's the whole point behind it, because it's allegedly they have been lying on the witness stand and they just haven't been telling the truth, allegedly. And so we have, they've been having to go through this, this testimony, these text messages rather, and, just to see, if because there are ways you can retrieve text messages. Even if a person deletes them from their cell phone, it still doesn't matter. They can retrieve that information if necessary. They do it all the time in cases. I mean, I've watched a lot of, cases on television, like, reenactments and things like that of real life cases and the forensics and things that they have to go through. They can retrieve cell phone data. People can do, the investigators can do a lot that regular people probably don't know about, but I think most of us know. So anyway, I'm going to do a reaction to this, and you all leave your comments below because this is pretty explosive.
Lawyers for the former president revealing some explosive cell phone data in a new court filing. They claim that Nathan Wade made at least 35 visits to the neighborhood where the Fulton County DA was living. They say, they go as far as alleging that Wade stayed overnight at her condo back in 2021. But the pair says the romantic relationship began in early 2022 after she'd brought him onto the Trump case. The new data seems to contradict what both Wade and Willis testified to under oath.
So if phone records were to reflect that you were making phone calls from the same location as the condo before November 1st of 2021, and it was on multiple occasions, the phone records would be wrong?
If phone records reflected that, yes, sir.
They'd be wrong.
They'd be wrong.
Did anyone else stay?
He said the phone records would be wrong. I think that is less likely and more likely that he is not being truthful, allegedly.
With you at the Yerty condo, including Miss Yerty?
Never. This was a very lonely period in my life. I don't think anyone ever spent the night.
Judges, you're not buying it over there. But listen, just because he was there doesn't mean, how can I say this for
that he slept with her?
That there was boot knocking going on.
Okay, let me explain one thing. I want you to think about this. He gets to her house at 3:30 in the morning, right?
Uh-oh.
No, he gets to her house at 10:45 at night.
Okay.
He leaves at 3:30 in the morning. He gets to his house at 4, goes back home at 4, and then texts her at about 5 minutes after 4. Now, I don't think they're texting about a case. He's telling her what a great night he had. Look, here's the bottom line. This case just blew up. Fani Willis not only has the appearance of impropriety, not only an actual conflict, Fani Willis perjured herself. Her boyfriend perjured himself.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of business do you have going on at 10:45 at night to 3:30 in the morning? Those are not business hours. And then you communicate back shortly after you get home. Now, come on now. I might not have been born yesterday. My goodness, that is crazy. Man. Okay, and now they're telling me that their relationship began in 2022, I think. But these text messages and that many times, what in the world could you be talking about? Yeah, well, let me just watch the rest of it.
They lied under oath. Each of them said they didn't have a relationship until 2022. Now, Robin Yater, whatever the name is, she said, no, it started in 2019. I saw them. They were hugging. They were kissing. And you know what? She ain't a great DA. I never thought she was that smart. She doesn't know how to conduct herself in a courtroom, clearly. But this woman is so dumb, she doesn't even realize that cell phone analytics can identify the exact location of your phone, not the area, but the exact location based upon the cell tower. That's how we prove crimes. We've been doing it for years, Fani. And here's the thing. In 2021, before they hooked up, they texted each other more than 1,000 times a month, but they weren't boot knocking, and they called each other more than 2,000 times a month. More to the point, he's going to her house, he's sleeping there, he's leaving, going home at least 2 nights. She calls her friend Robin a liar. Look, this man has no experience as a felony prosecutor or with RICO. She has no experience in a courtroom. The two of them are ridiculous. She was able to fund a lavish lifestyle that she took part of with this stupid.
I have to agree with her right here, with the judge right here, because this, she had to know. I mean, what was she thinking? But I tell you one thing. That the Judge McAfee, in this hearing right now, I don't know about that one. He looks like he's in Fani Willis's pocket, and we already know that he not funded, but donated to her campaign when she was running for DA. So that right there is a conflict of interest. He should not have been the judge in this hearing. He should not have been. And everything going down in Georgia, Lord have mercy. What is going on in my state? Fulton County especially. No one needs to text anybody that many times. Nobody. I don't even know how you find the time to text somebody that many times. And they're saying they were boot knocking. What do you guys think? You think they were boot knocking or knocking the boots, as they said back in the day? Oh my gosh. And I don't even know why they didn't know that this could be traced with the cell phone. Like she was explaining, the cell phone towers, they can pinpoint your location, based on your phone, where you were when you got to the next point, what time it was, the date and everything. Oh boy, these people. So it looks like they lied under oath, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, about when their relationship began. It looks like they lied. I mean, the data doesn't lie. He says that the data lied, but it looks more like they may have lied, allegedly.
Would claim I paid him back in cash. That itself is incredulous. The only question now is whether or not the judge is going to have the chutzpah to call it for what it is, and this is perjury. The bottom line is Wade got paid, Willis got laid, and the taxpayers got played. That's the way it is.
I thought maybe you were going to say spade. But no. But
All right.
Okay, so Jesse, can you text someone thousands of times, be close friends, be talking about business, and it's not romantic? Possible?
It was a booty call. The judge nailed it. She texts at 11, come on over. He comes over. He leaves at 4. Come on. It's a booty call, but they lied about sex.
Those are booty call hours. Just saying. We're all adults here. Those are booty call hours. That's not normal hours that you conduct business. What in the world? Sex lies and text messages.
Hasn't everybody lied about sex? That's the whole Clinton drama. They lied about sex, but they also lied about money. And he's destroyed evidence in past cases. And she's now lied 16 times to the judge's face. This judge might be a softie, though.
He is a wimp.
So anything could happen. The thing is here, they've so disqualified themselves. The judge might say, listen, it's personal. I need to stay in Fulton County as a judge. I want to save my career in Fulton County and just let them go on their way. But if you're going to lie that many times just about this and cover it up, you're not going to be prosecuting the former president with any integrity. You're going to lie, cheat, and steal in that case, too. And that's why they should be disqualified.
Well, and Harold, I mean, the judge is going to have a closed hearing on Monday with one of these, witnesses who was a former law partner. There's a question of attorney-client privilege. He represented Nathan Wade for part of the time in the divorce. But then it's public again next Friday. And that hearing, this judge is going to have to make some tough decisions.
There's no doubt. Both these attorneys, Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis, will have to respond to this new data here. I don't know. I've not reached the same conclusion that because they were communicating as much as they were, that this meant that there was some sort of romantic relationship. But if the data shows it and they misled the court, I don't disagree with it all. This court will have an enormous set of pressures on him to render a judgment, and we'll have to take that into consideration as he renders a judgment. I would imagine the judge is not going to be swayed by how he has to function in Fulton County over the next several months or years, if indeed this turns out to be true. Now, I've heard many be critical of Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade and their legal skills. I'll say this: I didn't think that this case from the outset was particularly compelling. However, when you look at the number of plea agreements that they've gotten from a whole host of people, including very sophisticated and smart and experienced lawyers, they did a pretty good job, whether he had experience or not in any of this. But the issue here at hand is whether or not they told the truth sitting in that judge's chamber, sitting in that courtroom. And today, doubt has been cast there, and they're going to have to answer these questions.
Well, Greg, do you think they're telling the truth?
No, of course they are. They were playing Yahtzee.
I love Yahtzee.
Yes. They're working on a case, and when booty calls, this is like a classic Columbo episode, right? It's all going one way, and then that last segment on the show, there's that one clue. It's the phone records, and then it's over. They didn't just falsely testify. They really falsely testified. I mean, and it was so obvious to everybody. It was amazing they did it. They assumed that they could get away with it. But this removes any ambiguity. They perjured. They will lose the case. They will probably lose their jobs, and they could actually lose their freedom because they broke the law. Why did they do it? They assumed they had a free pass. If you analyze their claims, you could be called racist. And they had a judge that seemed legitimately terrified of his previous employer. It was like Dwight Schrute interviewing Michael Scott, right? It just appeared that even in the testimony when she went off the rails, she was in control because the judge was too scared to rein her in. And I think the bigger picture here, when you step back, is how all the major critics of the left have been targeted by lawfare. So whether it's the January 6th protesters, Trump, Lindell, Musk, Giuliani, Bannon, Fox, there are lesser known names who are being targeted. It is time probably to return fire. You don't bring a slingshot to a gunfight. It's time for some deep pockets to start targeting Soros-funded DAs, the people who absolve themselves from truly fighting crime, and instead to focus on their political adversaries and opponents. Because the fact is, this stuff's going to continue. They're going to keep targeting people and trying to put them behind bars.
We will find every Soros-funded DA's booty call.
Exactamundo,
There's no way
Jesse.
he can hide.
Yes. Everybody lies about sex.
I feel not me.
Why should you?
I have no reason to lie.
You're as pure as the driven snow.
That's right.
Take
Women
that
of
to
the
the
Bible.
bank.
Women
Yeah, that's what something they said that did strike me, that if Fani Willis is willing to lie and cheat, to get what she wants, then when it comes to investigating Trump, she'll do anything there too. I mean, there's no moral compass. Anything will be done to get what they want. The means justifies the end, however that saying goes. But they will do anything to get what they want. So she's doing everything to get what she wants. That judge is in her pocket. That judge was very soft. I was waiting for him to say something like, you can't do that in my courtroom. Calm down, or you'll be held in contempt or something. Maybe I've been watching too many courtroom dramas, but he was very soft and very lenient. Fani Willis was running that courtroom. When I saw that hearing, I was like, he just gonna let her get away with that? She was tossing papers. She was yelling. I mean, she was pretty much belligerent. That is no way that you can't. I'm surprised that she calls herself a professional behaving in such a manner. I mean, her whole demeanor was unprofessional. I mean, almost ghetto. I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And all of this with the text messages, the time frame that they were communicating. Come on. I know they called it a booty call, but we're adults here. Who communicates at that time of night into the wee hours of the morning? Who does that? And the amount of text messages, there were so many. That is insane. And there's this more than they said if there's even the appearance of impropriety. Well, this is way past the appearance at this point. Way past the appearance. And these people will do anything they want, any Soros funded, DA or judge or whatever the case may be. No one can get a fair trial. No one can get anything fair because everyone is cherry picked to do what they're supposed to do, no matter if it's illegal and not fair. So that's my take on it. My take is also that they did, in my opinion, I know it's allegedly, but in my opinion, they had an affair. Well, a relationship, a romantic relationship, sexual relationship prior to the time that they said they did. Her former friend testified of such. The records from the text messages clearly show that they did. So what else can we conclude from this? So we've got testimony, text messages, we've got this and that, and yeah, it's just blowing up. Lies, sex, lies, and text messages. That's what's up. Well, I'm going to end the video right here. You guys have a great, great day. Be blessed. And as I always say, march on, warriors.